Daron Cruickshank is always ready to crack, and tonight his 5th UFC appearance comes opposite promotional newcomer Adriano Martinez. With a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, a big frame for the lightweight division, and knockout power in his fists, Manaus's Adriano Martinez is an exciting addition to the UFC's 155-pound weight class, and he is eager to begin his mission against Daron Cruickshank. The Ultimate Fighter Live's Cruickshank is one of the most compelling strikers in the game today. His wins over Yves Edwards and Henry Martinez turned heads throughout the MMA world, and tonight, it's expected to be bombs away once again. Coming up next, Daron, Detroit superstar Cruickshank battles Adriano Martinez. Well, confidence certainly not an issue for Detroit superstar Daron Cruickshank. He enters the octagon here tonight, 13-3 overall. And Kenny, on that live season of The Ultimate Fighter, he really was one of the pre-tournament favorites, an explosive striker who was really born into the martial arts game.
Yeah, he is. His dad, a Taekwondo black belt. He had him training at a very, very young age. And he's got that excellent Taekwondo in and out kind of movement that throws a lot of very good strikers from kickboxing and Muay Thai backgrounds off. And you know, a lot of spinning attacks. He is extremely fast. He also is an excellent wrestler as well, especially in the clinch. Hits some beautiful inside trips from that clinch position. This is a very, very tough debut fight for Adriano Martinez here in the UFC.
Cruickshank comes in having won 6 of 7. His father, Dean Cruickshank, in his corner, as is his Ultimate Fighter Live castmate, Cristiano Marcelo. And Cruickshank coming in off the biggest win of his career against Yves Edwards back in July. And that followed up a lackluster performance against John Makdessi, which really was an important learning tool for Daron Cruickshank. He said he gave Makdessi too much respect, and he is now actually watching less tape moving forward. He said he got so caught up in Makdessi on film that when it came time to fight the kid, he just gave him a little bit more respect than maybe he thought he deserved. Daron Cruickshank making his 5th UFC appearance. So the UFC debut has arrived for the talented southpaw 30-year-old Adriano Martinez. 24 career wins. He's won his last 5. And Kenny, despite the fact that he's a jiu-jitsu world champion, really a guy who is known as being a striker.
Yeah, he prefers to strike, really, which is surprising considering his Brazilian jiu-jitsu background. But he is an excellent southpaw. Very, very good Muay Thai. Loves to knock his opponents out. Very aggressive, goes to the body a lot, and was very impressive in his win over George Gurgel over in Strikeforce.
Adriano Martinez started his MMA career at 17 years old, actually as an injury replacement for his teacher. Realized pretty quickly that he could make a living doing this, and I guess he made the right decision as he arrives on the UFC stage here in 2013 with a record of 24 wins. Against 6 losses. He comes in having won 5 straight, as we mentioned, 11 of his last 12. 11 career wins by knockout, another 2 by way of submission, and 9 of those 13 stoppages have come in the first round.
Martinez is from the same areas a bunch of excellent UFC fighters, the Amazonas, which have produced excellent fighters like Jacare and, of course, Jose Aldo, our featherweight champ.
Here's the tale of the tape for this fight in the lightweight division. The 30-year-old Brazilian Martinez against the 28-year-old American Daron Cruickshank. A 2-inch height advantage for Martinez. No advantage on either side in the reach department. Both guys with a reach of 72 inches. To get us started with the intros, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a wrestler and a kickboxer, holding a professional record, 13 wins, 3 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, 70.3 kilos. Fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, USA, Detroit superstar, Daron Cruickshank. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a striker, holding a professional record, 24 wins, 6 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, 70.3 kilos. Fighting out of Manaus, Amazonas, Brazil, Adriano Martins. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mario Yamasaki.
So the veteran Mario Yamasaki, the 3rd man in the octagon here tonight. The beautiful Jenny Andrade to get us going in our opening round. And you see how loose Daron Cruickshank is, and that really was my biggest takeaway from spending some extended time with him on that live season of The Ultimate Fighter. A good disposition to have in the fight game, and it really speaks to the fact that he was born in a family of mixed martial artists, or at least in martial artists.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, that competition is huge. Starting that young, he's been competing in martial arts for such a long time. That's such an advantage. He is trying to put that experience to work here against Martins.
Cruickshank working out of the orthodox stance at present. He'll switch stances from time to time. Nice body shot there from DC.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of coming from that Taekwondo background. You can switch. A lot of in and out movement. A lot of spinning attacks. But Martins doing exactly as advertised, loves to pressure and go forward here. Both men still trying to find their range.
And Martins finds it right there.
Looks like Martins shook that left hand out a little bit. Not sure if he hurt that left hand on the head of Cruickshank there, but he landed a great left hand.
Nice inside leg kick for Martins, who really is trying to set up the big shots. Not much volume, at least here in the early going.
He is a high volume striker though, just not able to find his range just yet against Cruickshank.
Cruickshank circling away from that left-handed power of Martins.
Where Martins needs to be careful is as he goes forward, he kind of keeps that chin pretty high. Huge left hand for Martins though. That drops Cruickshank, now trying to finish him with some hammer fists. Looks like Cruickshank has recovered here, and he's right back to his feet. Big left hand for Martins,
who allows Cruickshank to get back to his feet. So, as we mentioned, a jiu-jitsu world champion looking for the knockout here early. How about the frame on Martins for this lightweight division?
You know, Cruickshank's a big lightweight. Martins is even bigger. And that is difficult to deal with, especially as Cruickshank, who likes to work in that clinch, you know, dealing with that extra weight, dealing with that strength, it wears on you.
There from Martins. Nice spinning attack there from Cruickshank. His offense, though, has been somewhat muted since that left hand from Martins.
Martins really doing a good job of bringing out the strengths as a southpaw, of corralling Cruickshank into that left hand. He uses that right hook to bring him right in that left hand. We saw it earlier this round, and we just saw it again. Now going to the body. Beautiful left hand. He has found his range on that left hand, there's no doubt about it. And here he is in half guard, looking to pass the guard of Cruickshank here. Martins will have a big advantage on the mat here against Cruickshank, especially from this position.
And we mentioned Daron Cruickshank's demeanor. Adriano Martins certainly not showing much in terms of the jitters here in his UFC debut.
He was singing on the way out to this fight. Absolutely showing how calm he is here. Now working on a Kimura attack. He's past the guard, maybe sitting down for a straight arm bar, and he does. He's trying to get that extra left hook in there for insurance. He has now been able to get that hook in. That leg to isolate the hips, sorry, of Cruickshank here. Now Cruickshank got his head right in between the legs of Martins to escape that arm lock attack. Excellent defense from Daron Cruickshank,
who is getting all he can handle, though, from the 30-fight veteran Adriano Martins. 30 seconds to go in our first round.
Martins just looking smooth everywhere here. As he tries to pass that half guard. There he is, going for that Kimura guard pass combination. Now going for the straight arm bar, but he misses it. Now still trying to go for that Kimura from half guard here. Cruickshank's going to be saved by the bell.
That was great. That was great. Adriano, that was really very great. It was a great round, but I'd like you to risk a little bit more when kicking. When he's kicking, when his leg is going back, I want you to try to go after him. Give him your hands. Give him your hands when he kicks you. Let's really believe in it, man. You can get him. If he goes down, when he feels your punches, he's going down. Go up on top of him. Go, let's go after him, man.
Let's take a look at that left hand that dropped Cruickshank. See the pressure, there it is right there. Just landed very cleanly right on the chin of Daron Cruickshank. There's that 3-2 combination for Martins.
You ready? You ready? Let's go, come on.
So we'll see if Cruickshank can get the offense going here in round two. The straight left for Adriano Martins, largely the story in round one.
Well, we saw Cruickshank trying to counter that forward pressure of Martins, and that just is not working for him. He needs to be the aggressor here, and move forward. Try to back Martins up in this round and show some of that variety that he's known for.
Cruickshank had a lot of success countering Yves Edwards his last time out, but not so much, at least here early.
Yeah, Martins' timing is excellent tonight. Right back on top here in the full guard of Daron Cruickshank, but Cruickshank, with his head pinned up against the cage, it is a tough place to be, man. Really takes away a lot of your offense from that guard position.
Huge shot there, yeah, from Martins. Very much looking the part of a guy who's a 10-year pro as he makes that UFC debut here tonight.
Yeah, that big elbow just missed, John. You can see just how patient Martins is and how calm he is here in his debut in the UFC. Now controlling that head of Daron Cruickshank. Now back in a half guard. Now watch this, he's gonna go for that same combination again. He's gonna attack the left arm of Daron Cruickshank with that Kimura. And in doing that, it also sets up a guard pass here. And he's just watching that arm. He's waiting for that wrist to be exposed. There it is. Now he's sticking with the Kimura here. He's going to try to throw his left leg over the head of Cruickshank, but Cruickshank doing a good job of recognizing that, puts his back up against the cage.
Using that fence to his advantage, but Martins making him pay with a couple short right hands there.
Yeah, he has that arm trapped up against the cage. He says, okay, I can't get the Kimura, but I'm going to pound away at your face. Martins just showing a very complex attack here on the ground, creating a lot of dilemmas here for Daron Cruickshank.
So we have crossed the midpoint of the fight. A very disciplined, calculated approach for Adriano Martins against a very explosive striker in Daron Cruickshank.
Now Martins going for that Kimura attack again.
There it is. From Cruickshank, Adriano Martins.
That can be a tough thing to finish, John, but he went right to that straight elbow attack. Instead of going for the Kimura, Cruickshank tried to get out of that Kimura position, straighten his arm. What did that do? It allowed Martins to attack the elbow joint and still get the submission.
So hard to find any fault with that performance from Adriano Martins here tonight.
Really, it was all Adriano Martins. Here it is. He was looking for this attack all night from this half guard position. It starts with the Kimura. He controls the wrist. He separates that arm from the torso of Daron Cruickshank. Now, Cruickshank tried to avoid it and straighten his arm out and curl it in. That only allowed him to attack the elbow joint. There it is, immediately.
So for Adriano Martins, his 25th career pro win, just his 3rd by submission. And the fans lapping it up here in Goiânia. Martins was smiling all week. The celebration continues for the UFC newcomer. All right, Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 49 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by tap out due to a Kimura, Adriano Martins.
So you only get one chance to make a first impression. Nicely done, Adriano Martins, who improves to 25-6.